Welcome to the step 3 on how to apply for your Canadian citizenship. In this step, you're going to complete your application for Canadian citizenship adult 18 years of age or older, and this is going to be the paper format. If you've not actually watched the step 1 and the step 2, step 1 is how to find out if you're eligible. You can check in the description area below, and you're going to watch that video. And the step 2, it's how to calculate your physical presence calculator in Canada to know if you're eligible for your Canadian citizenship. If you haven't watched those videos, you'll find a link in the description area. Like I said earlier on, this is going to be a step-by-step process on how to fill out the paper format for your Canadian citizenship form. And if you are someone who wants to apply online, I'm also going to make a video. You're going to find that in the description area too, on how to apply online. And to be eligible to apply online, it's just going to be for you only. If you have a family or you're married, then you're going to be using the paper format. Before we continue, ensure that the application date used in the physical presence calculator is the same on the application form that we're going to be filling out right now. Let's dive in. So if you remember, in the last step, we talked about how to calculate, how to use the physical presence calculator. And after you've done that, the next step is what? Get the application package for adults. So now we're going to click on this. And under here, the application package, there is instruction guide. If you actually want to go about this by yourself, you can click on that, then it's going to walk you through. But if you want to follow the process that I already have right now, all you have to do is you're going to download the application for Canadian citizenship, this one right here, and then the document checklist and the citizenship photo specifications. And this is all going to be an extra documentation if you are kind of if you've left Canada, residents outside of Canada, or if you're using someone like a representative to fill out for yourself, or if you've changed your name of that and you've changed your sex, right, or your gender, right? So these are all going to be extra documentation. So, but if any of this doesn't apply to you, you just download this first one by yourself if you want to do it by yourself. But if you want to follow what I have going on, just download number 2, number 3, and number 4. So I've already downloaded the application for Canadian citizenship. Let's go in there so I can show you guys how to fill it out. And this is going to be, like I said, step 3. Okay, so right here is what the application looks like. All the information I used in here is all numbers I just made up. I made these numbers up just to help you guys understand what you need to do or what you don't need to do going forward. So let's quickly dive in. So number 1, it's going to ask you the language you're going to receive service in. You can choose English or French. Then it's going to ask you if you have special needs. If it's a yes or no, you do that. Then once you choose a yes, it's going to request for further information. And then here it's going to ask you to tell them about yourself. Here you're going to put, if you have a permanent residency, you're going to see where it says your ID number. ID number is the same thing as your UCI. And that's the number you're going to put in here. I just made up this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you put your ID number in your permanent residency card here. That is your UCI. And then number 4, you're going to put in your name. So it says, have you changed your name since becoming a permanent resident? If it's a yes, you put that. If it's a no, then remember previously the extra documents would be the document needed if you change your name. But if it's a yes, that's when you're going to need that. If no, then you keep moving on. Here you're going to put the new name if you've changed it. So Number 4C, you put your gender, D, your height, and your eye color. And here you're going to put your date of birth exactly the way it is on your permanent residency card. There are options. It could be your record of landing, confirmation of permanent residency, or last permanent residency card. So these are just made up numbers. You put your place of birth and your country of birth. If you've used any other name, this is where you're going to put that information. Then you're going to indicate your marital status. If you're married, single, whatever fits for you, you choose that. Like I said previously, this is a paper format that you're going to print out to sign. So if you are a single person and you want to apply for Canadian residency, a Canadian citizenship online for just one person, check out in the description area where I made a video on how to apply online for single people or just someone applying for themselves alone. Here it's going to ask you, number 7, how they're going to contact you. So here you're going to put all your information, like your house address, and if your mailing address is the same, it's a yes. Then here you're going to put your phone number, and then you put your email. So this email is a way for them to reach out to you online once they receive your application. So is someone helping you fill out the form? If it's a yes, you indicate here. If it's a no, you indicate here as well. If it's a yes, that's when you're going to need the extra document again that I showed you guys earlier on before I got to this application form. And here you're going to complete the name of someone helping you fill out the application if that relates with you. Would you like to name a representative? Yes or no for you? Then here, pay attention to this point number 9. Here, it's all about assessing your eligibility. This is where we talked about the physical presence calculator. It's this form right here, the one on top, and I showed you guys how to come up with that. If you have that, you're going to check off and you enter the date on the calculator there. One good thing I want you guys to remember, when I did the video, which is like the second step on filling out the physical presence calculator, if you don't know when you're filling out your form yet, you just put the date of the day you're just testing that out. But if you're sure that you have everything ready to go and you want to submit your document, let's say the next day, then you're going to do a new physical presence calculator with today's date, the date of today, so that the next day you're submitting your application so that it rhymes with this application form. That's why in the PowerPoint I said make sure that the date on your calculator rhymes very well with the application form. Super important. You're also going to see that in the document checklist here where it says ensure that the application date used in the calculator on the application form are the same. Okay, so let's get back here. So number 10, so number 9B, during your 5-year eligibility period, did you live outside of Canada? Here, if it's a yes for you, you choose. If you selected yes, then you're going to go to this form and print it out and get more information. So this is more like guiding you exactly on what to do. So I made out all these numbers based on that physical presence calculator I used. And this is where you're going to put all your addresses within the time frame, that 5-year eligibility period that you qualify for a Canadian citizenship. So I made out all these numbers. So you're going to make sure, like if you look at this number, I started with 2014 to 2020. So it falls within the eligibility period of 2016 to 2021, right, in the physical calculator form that I made, right? So 2014 to present. So you have to make sure that you fill out your addresses to rhyme with the eligibility period in your physical presence calculator. Once you finish that part, then you go down on the 10B or 9B rather. It's going to ask you, in the past 4 years, were you in a country or territory other than Canada? If it's a yes, you put it here, no, and then you're going to put that information down here. Number 11 is going to ask you more about, tell us what you've been doing during your 5-year eligibility period. So this period, it's all going to be, please include any period of unemployment, enter details of your employment and education history. So here, you're going to put your occupation. So I made out all these numbers. So this is like a format you can look through to fill out your form for the paper format, right? So here, you're going to put your workplace. Again, make sure that it falls within the eligibility period. As you can see, I put in 2016-01, the last part, and to present, like you're still working there, same thing, 2016-02 to present. If you go back to this point, my physical eligibility period started from 2016-03 to 2021-03-05. 2016-03. So it's good to pay attention to all these information. So then number 12, do you have a social insurance number? Yes. Then you're going to put your social insurance number down here. I made this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just made it up there. And then 12B, you're going to indicate that that you're eligible or you filed your taxes. I like I stated in the last video, I think it was the step 2. If you haven't filed your taxes, I made a video on how to file your taxes. I might leave it in the description area too, so that you can figure out how to file your taxes and go about this process. So we keep going down. Number 13. Here is going to ask you, do you currently or have you held immigration or citizenship outside of Canada? If it's a yes for you, I just put Nigeria citizen, then you just put the date you got it. I made all these numbers up. And have you held travel documents during your 5-year eligibility period? Yes or no. If it's a yes, you indicate all these are all made up numbers. So you're going to put your document number here, the country that issued you the passport or when you renewed it. For example, for me, a Nigerian, if my passport expires, I will have to go to Ottawa to renew it, right? So that's why I use that as an example here. So there is something I want to show you guys here. So if your date was issued and your expiring date is below your eligibility period, so right here it's okay, 2016 to 2021, but if it's below your eligibility period, let's say your passport expired in 2020 or 2020 or 2019, that means it's below the 5-year eligibility period. So on here it says, if you do not have a travel document or passport, I mean right here, then you have to explain. So I just put this to help you come up with an idea. So I said, I have a permanent residency and never had no plans of leaving the country. My permanent residency card is still valid till 2022. So this will cover up for those missed period that you weren't able to renew your passport. So if you submit your application and they don't think that's good enough, they're going to let you know what to do going forward. But this is a good reason, as in something to put on there. That's why they said provide information here by explaining why. So number 15, language evidence. So on this part, it says if you were between 18 and 54 years of age, do you have proof of knowledge of English or French? Yes or no. So if you definitely, you're going to put yes. And then there are options here. So if I click on this button, it's going to show you, again, let me take this up. It's going to show you so many things. So here you're going to choose what fits for you. So I just gave an example of order. And for that order, let me go back to that point. For this one, I am going to choose order. And if you choose that, then I provided that I'm going to be submitting my transcript as an of academic record from my college or university or wherever you attended school in. But this is an option. There are so many options there, so you're going to choose what fits for you. And in the document checklist, you're going to see where you're going to make photocopies. When we get to this point in the document checklist, you're going to provide, here it says photocopy of proof that demonstrates knowledge of English or French. So this is where you're going to, for the types of proof you provide, you're going to make a photocopy of that, right? Just for you guys to remember that. So number 16, I think we're almost done here. So to be eligible to become a Canadian citizen, you cannot be prohibited on. So you're going to read all this point. If there are things that kind of as in false for you, like a yes or no, then you're going to choose. So I put a no, no, no all true. And then you check the boxes to confirm. And then consent to disclose personal information. All these places going down, just read. It's going to tell you, are you giving authorization for them to congratulate you once you become a citizen? Yes, yes or no, read through. So once you finish this part, you go all the way down to this point, signature of applicant on number 18. Here you're going to, as in before you sign, you're going to put your city and the date. Again, remember, this date is going to be the same with the one on your physical presence calculator, except the only difference is going to be like if you've filled that date today and you're submitting tomorrow. I think to be on the safer side, use the same date. Let's say I print a new physical presence calculator today, then I'm going to put the same date here, just like the recommended here. Ensure that the application date used in this calculation and on the application form are the same. Once you do that, before you sign, this is where you're going to send your application to, either through regular mail or through courier address. So don't let this confuse you. This is express, sending express, and this is just regular mail. In the last video on checking all the document, as in coming up with the whole document checklist, I'm going to show you guys a little video of what I made with the lady at the post office when I asked her a question and she explained all of this to me, right? So once you do that, the next phase is you are going to validate. You save and you validate. Again, remember, you save, you validate. Once you do that, then you're going to print out this form and sign right here. Okay, validate and sign. Save your information, validate it, and then you are going to sign on this place. And that is how to fill out your Canadian citizenship form, the paper format. In the next video, we're going to go through all the document checklist of everything you're going to be needing on how you're going to arrange them before you send out. I'll see you guys in the final step of how to apply for a Canadian citizenship, the paper format, in the next video, which is the step 4. Bye for now.